Welcome back. You've most likely had your phone ring and the number that pops up is almost identical to yours. It is a scam called neighbor spoofing. Better Call Harry tells us more about it.
The calls are getting out of control.
Hello?
Most of the time I just don't answer.
No, I never answer it. Yeah, but I get those calls frequently.
You know the ones, the calls with phone numbers similar to yours. Same area code, same prefix. It must be someone you know, but it's not.
It's always like a robocall.
This is what the experts call neighbor spoofing. These calls are coming from scammers and most likely from overseas. They are using technology to fool your caller ID with your area code and the next three numbers. You're the fish, that's the bait.
I get the same number, like the same area code and the same first three digits.
The Better Business Bureau's Mike Boynton says answering that call sends a signal.
It's an active phone. That phone number can then be picked up and put on a sucker list for potential scam artists who will pay for that number. Potentially can call in the future, and then you could end up getting many more robocalls or scam calls.
It keeps happening, and I don't know why I can't opt out of it.
We reached out to Verizon and AT&T to learn what these providers are doing to keep you off the sucker list. With Verizon, not much. In a statement, the company says, currently, there is no way for us or any other provider to prevent these individuals from spoofing phone numbers. We are working with the FCC on ways to investigate the scammers and keep it from happening in the future. AT&T told us it is also working to trace back and stop these calls. One service it does provide, and it's free for its customers, the AT&T Call Protect app. It blocked 8 calls in one day on my phone. There are also call blocking services like Hiya and Nomo Robo. I used Nomo Robo. After a free month, they charge a fee. It blocked a lot of calls, but just as many got through. We know you're frustrated, but until the phone companies figure this out, there's only one way to stop neighbor spoofing.
Just don't pick your phone up, I guess.
All right, we are back with Mike Boynton with the BBB. Mike, what is the difference between this neighbor spoofing and robocalls?
Well, while they're termed differently, they're one and the same, basically. Robocalls and neighbor spoofing, it's designed where using modern technology, you're going to be getting, and even more so, we are getting an increasing number of phone calls. And when you look at the phone number on your phone, it displays a local number. You're thinking that perhaps it's a friend, a neighbor, a business, or somebody that you deal with, but it's designed through this technology, and many of these scammers are out of the country. So it's designed to get you to simply answer that phone.
It is so annoying. We all get these things.
And it is increasing. We are getting continued reports, not only in the Atlanta market, but throughout the entire country, because if with the multi-millions of calls that are being made technologically, if just a small number of people answer the phones, there's money to be made by scammers.
And you had mentioned in the piece there, is it a trigger to them even if you pick up? Is that they're saying, okay, there's a human there.
Exactly right.
Even if you hang up, they know.
Even if you hang up, and which if you do pick up, first of all, we recommend don't answer the phone.
Right.
But if you do pick it up, hang up quickly. But the benefit for the scammer is that they know if you pick up, it's an active phone number. They will take that number that you've answered, or your number that you'll answer, will be then sold to other scammers, and they'll use that for other scam purposes. So the best thing to do is absolutely, if you don't recognize it, don't pick it up. Just ignore the call. If it's important enough, if they need you, obviously they will leave a voicemail.
Sure,
for you.
they'll get in touch, text you, leave a message to call back. How about a do not call registry? We hear about it. Do they work anymore?
You know, I think they do. We still recommend to consumers that you do to help yourself avoid these types of robo or scam calls. Go into the do not call registry. You can do an internet search and list your number so you can help yourself from getting so many calls. But even that, with the technology that is out there, even that, it's still not foolproof. There are indeed some with your telephone provider. There are some apps that you can buy, and some of these are fee-based. You have to pay a fee.
We heard Harry mention them.
Exactly
they can help
right.
a little bit.
It can help some, but again, it's not foolproof. It could help you some, but this is frustrating with all the technology involved in it, and the only thing we can do is just warn consumers. Just, if you don't recognize the number, don't touch it. Don't pick it up.
Decline,
Exactly
for sure.
right.
Now, if someone unfortunately hangs on one of these calls, what are they ultimately going after? Will they give you any kind of story?
They may very well indeed. I mean, ultimately, their goal as a scammer is to get either two things. One is to get banking information from you or personal information, which could be Social Security numbers, banking information. There are a variety of different steps to, or perhaps to get you to visit a website with a recommendation. So the big thing is that just don't give out any kind of personal information about that. Don't go for the bait.
Yeah, no kidding. And is this something that you want to hear about at the BBB? Should people be reporting this to you, or do you just decline it and move on? And
no, we always want to know from consumers, and that's why we make it easy for consumers to visit our website, bbb.org, Scam Tracker, and report that. We track all of the scams throughout the entire country. You can zero in on all the active scams in the Atlanta area. So as a consumer, you're prepared, you're warned about it, and you can perhaps avoid that.
All right, good tips there, Mike. Thank you so much. Much more to come. You know, it's never too early to start thinking about taxes. We've got some IRS scams and information you need to be on the lookout for when we come back.